What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Daily Sean. For those of you who haven't been here before, my name is Sean. I do a daily video on something related to nursing. No rhyme or reason, probably not going to change. Mastering the flip-flop. The flippity-flip-flip-flop of the night shift, day shift, night shift, flip-flop, shift, flip thing. You know what I mean? Not only do we have to flip from days to afternoons to nights, you have to flip in a random manner. 2 days, 1 night, 2 afternoons, a night, 2 days, vicious cycle. So it's called the flip-flop for 2 reasons. 1, because of that flippity-flip shift. And also, on a much lighter note, we don't sleep much, so we flip-flop in bed trying to sleep. Because 1 minute you think it's the day, body doesn't know if it's night, body doesn't know if it's coming or going, body doesn't know if it should be sleeping or be awake. This is the life we live. Had a fan question asking how to master the flip-flop. Sounds like a new nurse who's embarking on this journey, who's starting to figure out, I think during clinicals, that the flippity-flip-flop kind of sucks, a big fat one. So how do you adjust? There are a bazillion, trillion, million, gazillion tips out there on the internet. All you gotta do is type it up and Google that stuff. But I thought I'd offer my own tips. I think of 3 main topics of discussion when mastering the flippity-flop. 3 things. Number 1, talking about your overall nutrition, not only when you're not working, but when you're working. Are you a big sugary treat eating kind of person? And do you eat a lot of heavy carbohydrates, complex carbs? Are you a big bread eater? Do you like pasta? Because the bread, the pasta, and everything white is going to weigh you down, and it's going to impede your sleeping cycle, especially when your circadian rhythm goes out the door. Stick to simple sugars, simple carbohydrates, lots of fruits and vegetables. By all means, pay attention to your caffeine and water intake. Everybody wants to pound the caffeine, the power drinks, pound the coffee and cappuccino to get you through the night. The problem is, the night shift, by its mere existence, makes you dehydrated. One of the things you have to pay attention to is proper hydration. You need to drink twice as much water on the night shift versus the day shift. At its most basic level, your body is doing a lot of work behind the scenes during that time of the day. Even if you are physically awake, your body still thinks it should be sleeping, and it's more than likely going to go into hibernation mode so that it can rest and recuperate. So you may not have control over it, but you're going to have a lot of insensible water loss. Drink water. Pay attention to when you drink the caffeine. If you're drinking caffeine at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and you get off at 6 or 7 a.m., guess what? If you try to go to bed when you get home, you're going to be up peeing your brains out, so come on, self-explanatory. Second tip is know how you sleep. Are you the kind of person that ends a shift and then goes home and go to bed? Or do you stay up a little bit and then go to bed, wake up? How is your sleep cycle when you would function with the daylight people? You want to mimic that on nights. For me, it was mimicking and tricking my body to thinking I was working a day shift. So I would wake up and have the same habits I would if I was waking up to go to a 7 p shift that I would do on a 7 a shift. Wake up hours early to have my breakfast, have my coffee, read my news, and then go to work. I also would take afternoon naps so that I basically woke up, got ready for work, and went to work, instead of waking up early and then have a half an afternoon to yourself before you go to work. That just destroyed me. But that's me. You could be different. Master your own sleeping cycle. Know what your strengths are and stick to it. It goes without saying about the blackening covers on your windows, making sure it's as dark as possible, making sure it's as quiet as possible. Want to mimic what it would be like if you were sleeping at night with us normal people. Think about things that can help you sleep. Some people like the melatonin route. You can always try the music to help you relax. Headphones, eyewear, take your pick. You're gonna have to pull out all the stops and figure out what helps you sleep. And lastly is the thing I talked about with the brain trickery. You want to trick your brain and your body into believing that it is the day shift versus the night shift. You want to treat the night shift just like the day shift in all of your habits, all of your routines, I should say. If you're like me, you get up, you do your thing, brush your teeth, blah, blah, blah. You want to do that for the night shift as well. If you have to get up in the middle of the day for any reason, for family or other responsibilities, lay down for a power nap so that you can trick your body into thinking, I'm getting up and going to work in the morning. I know it's rudimentary and it's simplistic, but it used to work for me. I will admit that I haven't worked night shift in a number of years because I've been blessed to not have to worry about that. But in my prime, I did the flippity-flip-flopping and I also worked a steady night shift for 2 years straight. So I know what it feels like. Any other quick tips and tricks that we can give this new nurse embarking on the flippity-flip-flop? Words of wisdom, bring them on. Leave a comment down below. Always want to hear from you. You know your comments are my caffeine. Share this with somebody. And as always, check your own pulse first.